Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Jack Hirsh, joined by our wrestling insider, Sara Perlowitz. Penn State wrestling, of course, is coming off a huge win this past Saturday over number 2 Ohio State to secure their spot atop the Intermat rankings. It started off ominous as star freshman Nick Lee lost his bout to Joey McKenna, and the Nittany Lions trailed at intermission 15-5. However, Penn State defied the odds after the break and came out with several upset wins to collect a 19-18 victory. The biggest match of the night, however, turned out to be a loss by Nick Neville's to number 1 in Kyle Snyder. He needed only to avoid a major decision to secure the win. So, Sarah, you were there. What was that like, that kind of atmosphere that was coming out of that match at that point?
The atmosphere was absolutely insane. You would have thought he won the whole match, which he basically did. It was, even Kale said this, like, he lost, but the crowd was cheering and everyone was happy because he was able to keep it 15-10, which was not a major decision. It just kept it to a regular decision. And it was to Kyle Snyder, who's ranked number 1. He just came back from Olympic training. He's a reigning NCAA champ, and it was just a great way to close out the match against Ohio State.
Yeah, so obviously, probably just as critical because they're not in that position. If Anthony Cassar doesn't win his match against number 1 Kellen Moore, he gave them a 19-15 lead at that point after they had trailed at going into intermission, obviously. So there's been some contention at that 197 spot for Cassar and Shakur Rashid and Matt McCutcheon. So what's this mean for that position, his win over such a formidable opponent, mean going forward for the rest of the season at that spot?
Right, yeah. Fans were even surprised to see Anthony Cassar step on the mat. Rashid has been so electric the past couple of weeks, and he's been wrestling at home. And we all assumed it would be Rashid taking the mat against number 1 Colin Moore. So when we saw Cassar, we were like, okay, like, let's see what he can do. And he was able to pull out the 6-3 decision. Like, he dominated the whole match. He was good. And Rashid is ranked number 10. He's had pins, and he's really come out since the Southern Scuffle at the beginning of January. So it'll be interesting to see who goes up against Iowa, if Cassar has kind of secured his spot as a starter, or if Kale's still going to switch between the two of them. Yeah,
you bring up that Southern Scuffle where Rashid went 5-0 in all of his bouts.
Placed first.
Yeah, so obviously big decisions there. Another spot that's having a kind of identity crisis, if you want to call it, is 125 spot vacated by Nick Sirianno with his transfer to Rutgers before the season. So we didn't know who was going to be in that spot. Cale Sanderson took a lot of time before he announced Carson Kuhn was going to start in that spot against Ohio State. He didn't win. He lost to Amasetti, but he performed really well. He really put on a show, didn't he?
Yeah. Prior to Kuhn, it was Devin Schnupp, who he is a freshman, but he only won one bout throughout the last 15, I think it was. But as Carson Kuhn, he hasn't wrestled in 2 years. He just got transferred in from Boise State. So this was his first match. A big match in Rec Hall means a lot for the team and a lot for our record for the season. And I thought he performed really well. He didn't win, but he lost against the number 4 guy, which it was his first match in 2.5 years. So I thought he held his own. He lost a 21-12 major, which kind of put us in a deficit in the beginning. But, I mean, I thought he would have been a better replacement than Schnupp. So hopefully Cale Sanderson sticks with him throughout the rest of the season. But I guess we'll find out if it's a permanent decision against Iowa.
Obviously, and this matchup against Iowa is huge. Going to be at the Bryce Jordan Center, going to be 15,000 plus. What's something that we should watch for when the Nittany Lions take on Iowa this Saturday?
Yeah, Iowa's ranked number 7, so they're definitely not a team to take lightly. It is going to be in the BJC, so there's going to be so many more fans. Who knows, like maybe Iowa fans will travel out for it. But within this match, there's going to be 5 ranked matchups. And Spencer Lee's ranked number 3 at 125, so he's going to put on a show for Carson Kuhn. So I don't know, we'll just have to wait and find out.
So you seem to indicate that, but do you think Anthony Cassar and do you think Carson Kuhn will start this Saturday against Iowa?
Yes and yes.
All right, you heard it there. Certainly will be a fun one at the BJC this Saturday. That's all for us. For Sara Perlowitz and the entire Penn State Sports Night crew, I'm Jack Hirsh. Take it easy, everybody, and pray for the city of Philadelphia.